Hi guys, and welcome back here to the Dev Realm, and today we're gonna be carrying on our RTS series. And if you guys have been following our series, what we done in the last episode is that we have set up now our stats here. As you can see, is increasing and decreasing as the times goes. So what we're gonna be doing here is that we're gonna start to set up our character movement around the scene. So the first thing that we are gonna do here is we are gonna drag here a nav mesh components, nav mesh, and the nav mesh boundaries. I'm gonna go to the outliner, I'm gonna go to the details, I'm gonna make sure it is 0, 0, 0, and I'm gonna just play with the brush settings here. I'm gonna put, let's say 10,000 by 10,000 by 10,000. There you go. This is just so we can make sure that we build our nav mesh, so our characters and our AI can walk around our scene. Alright, so the next thing that we need to do here is that we are gonna go to our RTS control. We're gonna right click. We're gonna create a new folder called AI. Right? I'm gonna open up this folder. I'm gonna right click, and I'm gonna go to blueprints. Here, sorry, blueprint class. I'm gonna create a character, right? And this character here is gonna be called BP base AI. And I am gonna open up this guy here. And the next thing that I'm going to do with this is a couple of things. So the first one here is on the settings. If you search for a controller, is that here? Controller. There we go. So we have a AI controller class, right? I'm just gonna right click. I'm gonna go to blueprint classes again, and I'm gonna search for AI controller, and I'm gonna click on that, and I'm gonna I'm gonna create a class based on that. And I'm gonna call this BP base RTS AI controller, right? And then I'm gonna select my AI controller, and I'm gonna drag and drop right here. Right, the reason why we're doing this is just because I wanna make sure that our AI only has some certain settings that we can use to control. Right, so the next thing here that we're gonna do is that we're gonna find a specific mesh. So to do this, let's just put this on the side. We're gonna use just the default characters that Unreal has. So if you go to characters, mannequins, actually the easiest way is just to go to the third person. Let's open up the blueprint here. Let's just click on this third person character here. So we're going to be using the same character. We don't have a nav mesh that we can use, sorry, a skeleton mesh, so I'm just going to use the same one. So to do that, I'm going to go back to where we have our skeleton mesh here. I'm going to select this. I'm going to click on this button, go back here, click right here. Now the next thing here that we're going to do here is we probably need to copy those values. So I'm just going to copy, anyway, I'm just going to copy those values manually here, just so we can align them properly here, and this is 270. Cool. Now as you can see, if we drag and drop our AI here, it's gonna look a little bit weird. This is because our character doesn't have animations yet, right? So let's set this one better now. So what we can do here is we're gonna just need to add the animations back. So to do that, we're gonna select the animations from here. We're gonna click on the Queen C here. Click on that. Go to our base. We're just gonna plug in that, and now our character should have all the animations that we are looking for. And we can even press on the keyboard, I think is the Add command if you're on the UK layout, and then you can press 0 to see our nav mesh here, and you can see if our nav mesh is working. Right, so now while we are I would like to do here is to basically do something like that. You select the actor, and then you right click on the map, and then the actor will move to that location. But to do that, we need to first spawn the location where the actor is going to go. So we need something that will indicate where is the location that the actor will move to. Right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to close all this stuff for now. Now I'm going to go back to my content, to the RTS control. I'm going to go to the blueprint, sorry, AI here. Player, that's the place I wanted to go. Now you guys remember that for the components, actor selection, we have actor selection settings. So this is where we basically select what actors we're trying to select, and we also have settings here, right? So what I want to do here for the player settings, right, because the player settings is being used on the player itself, I'm going to create another variable here, and I'm going to call this actor final destination marker, and this is going to be the type of actor, and this is going to be a class reference, right? Now I'm going to save this. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to save everything. Actually, yeah, because we changed the data table, let me just reset the engine. I'll be right back once this is up and running. Alright guys, yeah, so I am back here, and now we have this new variable that we can assign a class to that. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to the RTS control. I'm going to go to blueprints, and I'm just going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call this interactables. Interactables, right? And drag and drop all this stuff right here for now. Now the next thing I am going to do, I'm going to create another folder, and sorry, just an empty folder, and I'm going to call spawn marker destination or something like this. And we're just going to create the destination marker where the player is going to go. So we're going to create a blueprint class, right? And I'm just going to create a simple actor, and I'm going to call BP spawn destination, right? Now what I'm going to do here is something really simple, nothing too complicated, even because I don't have a decent 3D assets, I just have plain assets here. So if you have a nice 3D asset, you can use that. For now I don't have anything, so I'm just going to come up with something simple. I'm just going to try to do like a banner. So I'm going to try to make a poll, something like that, and I'm going to add a plane. Actually, I need another cube instead of that. I'm going to just add a cube. And for the cube, I'm just going to put a cube here. It's going to be, let's say, flag. I kind of want this to be like a flag. It's not really going to be a flag, but you guys got the idea. It's just trying to spawn the marker, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking for. Something really basically, something just simple here. Now I'm just gonna select all those, and for the collision here, I just want to make sure that there's no collision. I don't want collision to happen with this. Right, so what I want to do is when I right click on the map, I want to spawn that thing. So I know that the actor will move to that location, right? So to do that, we already are halfway through. Now we need to create a new input, and to do that I'm just going to go back to here, to our content. Let's go to RTS, player, inputs, actions. So we have movement, selection. On movement, I'm just gonna put inside the selection. I'm gonna create another input here, and I'm gonna call this IA right mouse click. right? You can call this whatever you want, but since we're doing RTS mainly focus on the computer, I'm just gonna call right click. Now I am gonna go back to our player, what is it, to our input player, our component here, the RTS player control. Now I am gonna go here to the selection, actually player settings, just try to remember the best place, because I think the controls here are coming from the player. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go to the player here, we're gonna go to the inputs, right? Already on the inputs, and we have handle the left mouse click, and we're gonna call IA right. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to actually add the input to our IMC, sorry. It's gonna add that one we just created, IA right mouse click, and for the button here, we're gonna assign a new button, and this is gonna be the right mouse click. Cool. Now on here on the player, we can call it IA right mouse click, right? And what we are going to do here is the thing, right? So you know that we have our so we have our components, but on the RTS we have our play settings that we are getting some information from the database here, right? So now what we got to do here is that we're gonna go back to our player again, right? Just put it on the side. Let's go back to our settings. Let's go to our player settings. Let's open up the data table. Now on the data table, we just need to assign the actor, and we have just created an actor to do that. Let's go back to blueprint, spawn, drag and drop that guy here. So we have the class. I'm just gonna do the same for the other one, just in case we need to switch to that guy. And now, on the player player control, the component here, I'm gonna go back here to the selection, and so we have the clear selection. Actually, I'm gonna create a new graph, and I'm just gonna call marker, right? Or maybe I'm just gonna call movement. Now I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna create a new custom event. I'm gonna call this API spawn player marker movement server. This is a long name, but I think that's fine for now. Make sure it runs on the server and is reliable, and let's do the same here. Custom event. Let's create a multicast. Nice. And then the last thing we need to do is that we need to spawn an actor from class, right? Now it's gonna ask for a class. The class is just the loaded player settings, and we're gonna break that to load the marker, right? Now it's gonna ask, okay, where would you like to spawn this? I also have some informations and some other things in here. I'm just gonna make sure I'm gonna put override here, and I'm gonna put the spawn transform right there, right? Now here we can actually call the same actor here, so just gonna put the spawn place, and we're gonna call spawn the marker, or where the AI will move or something. I don't know, something just that makes a little bit of sense. So I'm just gonna put 40, so from where the AI will move. That's good. Now this it needs to be a multicast because we wanna spawn both from server and client, and that's it. Cool. Now on the player, if you go back to our player, let me just compile and save that. Now back on the player, all we're gonna need to do is to get our component, which is here, our RTS component. And once this is completed, right, we're gonna call this event API spawn marker, right? And here's gonna ask the location where we would like to spawn the actor. Remember that we already have an actor that we move with the camera. So if I press play, you guys can see that sphere moving around, right? So what I want to do here is I want to spawn that on where is the marker. So to do that is same thing. We're just gonna, oh, I closed that by mistake. Anyway, go back to the inputs. Now I need to get my sphere location. Let me just find, is that the right one? Find references. Yes. Yeah, it's being set on the event tick. That's good. Now on the input system here, we're gonna get our sphere, and we're gonna get word location, actually transform, and we're gonna align that, and we're gonna put this transformer right here, and we're just gonna call spawn the AI movement target. Right, now there's one thing here that I think would be really important for us to set back, which is basically when we spawn this actor, we need to keep the referencing here. So we're going to promote to a variable, and we're going to put here the final marker destination, right? I'm going to make sure this is public, and I'm going to make sure this is replicated. Final marker destination, and I am gonna maybe add a delay of, let's say 10 seconds, and then after that we're just gonna destroy this actor here, so it's not always on the map, right? And at that point our AI already knows where it's trying to go anyway. And one thing here, before we can actually try to spawn this thing, I'm just gonna make sure that if already exists, right? If our marker is valid, if it's valid, all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna destroy the actor, right? And carry is on, and if it's not valid, then we just carry on here. We don't care what happened. Cool, and I think that should be enough for this video. So if I right click, as you guys can see, I can move that around, which is really cool. So I can move and keep clicking that to that location. So what we're gonna be doing here, oh yeah, actually there's just one issue here that I found, that is what we probably gonna do here is that we're gonna create do once, right? And or maybe we can put a gate here. Or maybe a do once. I think we're gonna use a do once. Yeah, do once here. So you're gonna basically tell do once. So you're gonna put a delay, and we're gonna put, let's say, 10 seconds in here. But what I want to do here is that, well, I think this is gonna be a. Well, I'm gonna remove this for now. I think we can come up with something better for the next video, so this thing's not always here. But anyway, guys, I think that's everything for this video. And what we're gonna be doing the next one is that we're gonna probably make sure the AI can actually walk to that point as we selected AI. So yeah, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I see you in the next one.